Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.
Welcome once again to Voices of Anambra podcast, where we get to dissect stories and narratives as we take Hiram from your voice into our ears. And of course, remember, you talk your mind as you take the do you. My name is Uche Chuku Ebona.
My name is Adiche Chuku.
I don't know. This will be Gen Z tradition because I don't understand what's going on. I don't understand what's going on.
And this is a uniform that Mazi and I wore.
As in Ashebi boys.
Ashebi boys.
All right.
Thanksgiving mass at ICC.
Okay. So you decided to rock it today.
I decided to rock it. Ever since then, I haven't put it on again. So
with the red cap.
Today I said, let me try it again and see
Gen Z combination.
How cute I look.
Okay, you look good. Today on the podcast, we are going to be diving into an issue of major concern in Anambra State, which is security. In fact, it is an issue of major concern everywhere in the world. But then we are in Anambra and we will talk about Anambra, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, no.
Because Mr. Governor will say, without security, investors cannot come in. And you cannot build a prosperous homeland without a peaceful state.
Exactly. We want to look at the progress so far and the relationship with this present administration between the Nigerian police and the Professor Chukwumacha Soludo-led administration. And to help us dissect and give us his voice. We're not going home with it, so we're using the voice today. We have with us the ever-active, very active, because since he was posted to Anambra State as the Commissioner of Police, things have been happening, like action, left, right, middle, center. Today I'm going to salute him, right? Welcome, CP Ikioye Orutugu, the Commissioner for Police, Anambra State. You're welcome to Voice of Anambra.
When women salute you, no say something they expect. You see for all these skits where a husband is returning from work and a wife will just wrap her to spread on the floor.
Praise my husband.
Then you see.
So you know that she's expecting something.
Are you sure? Okay, yes.
Yeah, and today she's expecting something, nothing less than the truth.
Yeah.
And because in the Anambra, expect to hear from you from this very own podcast, Voices of the Anambra. Happy New Month, sir.
Thank you. Same to you.
So let me take you quickly. Is Anambra safer today than 4 years ago?
100 times safer. Yeah, just let me give you an indices. Something I noticed, I've been noticing in the last 1 week or 2 weeks or so. When I arrived Anambra State, by about a year, 2 months now, I came in with some money. I was already a successful, by the grace of God, commissioner of police, from a very formidable department, the counter-terrorism department. And I was involved in a lot of operations, counter-terrorism operations and all that. So I was given 6-month arrears of my welfare. When I arrived there, 2 days after I arrived there, the cash entered my account. I said, what do I do with this cash? Meanwhile, I came in with a vehicle. A vehicle someone considered not too safe for me to use in this environment. If any of you know anything about me, for 2 years, I was Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of the zone at Dunu Coffee. I was DC CID 2002, 2003. So when I arrived there, the guy told me, so boy, you were the like Abakaliki Street. Yes. For you to live, that you are living in Anambra, especially Oka, you got to, it's either you are passing through, or you sit down, or you engage, or you romance Abakaliki Street. In one form of the other, or the other. So the guy called me and said, this motor, if you use that here. I said, why? He said, because he said that they will come for the car and they come for your life because of the car. So I said, okay, let me look for a small vehicle I can manage. So I drove around the whole of Anambra. The only place I saw something close to what I was looking for was in Newi. I saw some used cake vehicles, some of them abandoned. But today, as you move around the streets of Oka, the express, everywhere is car emergence of car shops, whatever car stands. That is an indices that progress has come. And that can only happen if there is security.
Okay.
That's my personal experience. I don't know about
why should a trader in Onitsha believe that Anambra is not peaceful? And why should also a trader or ordinary person in here
trader. Are you
and
talking
leave
about
you?
a trader with a positive, progressive mind, or a trader that was already anchored
Those in
in
Lilu,
negative?
those in Lilu, how would they now believe that Anambra
It's truly
is
safe.
truly safe?
That is what I'm saying. It depends on the mindset of the people. Even if you have, you go to the streets and put one police officer per building, whoever has anchored in his mind that I do not like this environment, I do not like this government, I do not like this administration, I don't like the Nigeria police, I don't like what is happening, I don't like Nigeria, will continue with the same attitude and expression. However, with time, you see, begin penetration. So if I don't want to be negative, any in the Anambra that say that any under number from all over the state, if you say you are not appreciating the present state of security, then you got to have your head examined. Comparatively, like you said, 4 years ago.
All right. Mondays used to be dead in Anambra State. What percentage of enforcement have you done compliance to help curb or break that disease of
Well, I know there is compliance. Percentage, I don't know. Maybe you set up a company
data
to do a
analysis?
data.
Okay.
But compliance and security. When I arrived town, the first challenge Mr. Governor told me was this issue of sit at home. And I had enjoyed, suffered sit at home while I was in Anambra State, as a DC operations. I mean a DC CID at the zone. But then, at that time, I was not uh, involved in the day-to-day security arrangement of the state. We arrived, and I told my PRO, I'm going to police Anambra without guns.
Without gun?
Yes. I'm going to police Anambra without gun. And I was wondering, okay, I said, 75% of the challenges in the Anambra having psychological. It's not a condition that exists. You have to first engage them, show them that you are their friends, the police. You have to go to them. Don't stay in the office and when they come to give complaint, you now say, okay, you come out. No. So the first thing I did was to tour all the security houses. Naturally, when his commissioner of police arrives, he will stay in his office and all of the appendages of security comes to see him, But I say, no, my style is going to be different.
You are going
Yes.
to them.
So I visited all of them and I told them to please support the state, not me. I'm just a job man. Once I finish by the time I come out of here and I see a signal, I'm gone. I may decide not to come back to Anambra again. But we need to change the narrative that in the Anambra are fetish people. In the Anambra are kidnappers. In the Anambra are, what do you call it, this juju rituals and all that. The number one challenge, if you have an injury, no matter how, if you have an injury, they'll look at the symptoms. If you go to a hospital, not injury, they'll look at their vital signs.
Yeah.
They'll check your BP, they'll check your blood, blah, blah, blah. So I was not going after kidnappers. I started to say, okay, how do I engage the people? And as a one, we're going to start visiting the markets. And what I did, all the PRO suggested that we now hire vehicles. We have buses. In the Anambra, they didn't know all these things. They will not know. They are enjoying how a car, you can now go to a car. But this was how we started. We had buses, hired these speakers. Then we started every day, every Monday, we go around all the markets here, Onitsha, Newi, the major towns, this, you know that song.
Bongo.
That was how the clips are still there. We started doing it. So on Mondays, the women, the innocent women who survived from just frying akara, who survived from hawking okpa,
Pure
water, all that, they start expecting to hear the sound. So as soon as we appear, you see them come out. And gradually, and gradually, and gradually. Aside that, we start engaging in what I call community engagement.
So, talking about internal security, a time came in the state where people couldn't sleep with their two eyes closed. In fact, we couldn't even sleep with one eye closed, and it was all thanks to unknown gunmen, as they were called at the time. So, these people now, these unknown gunmen, are they criminals, agitators, or politicians using them to cause chaos in the state? Do you know their names? Are they named now, or are they still unknown?
Are they still unknown?
Now, as CP Anambra, I will not want to comment on the tactical level. I will not even mention anything about the operations.
Because when a struggle becomes violent,
that's what I've said.
Is it still a struggle?
That is what I've said. You cannot destroy a pot on fire while your mother, understanding that there is hunger in the home.
So now, can we say they are criminals?
Based on the laws of the land,
Yes.
It's clear that they are criminals. Based on the laws, the existing laws of the land.
Okay.
They say so thing is criminal. It's criminality. So you cannot say you are not a criminal when the totality of the law say that you are a criminal.
Because we know that these agitators, you know how they held the state economy down, that even Mr. Governor has to close down the main markets. Okay,
because I was involved in the closing and reopening of the...
Let me, when you came in, kidnapping was high in Anambra State. And we can also see that kidnapping has dropped drastically. But people are worried about maybe the number of cases you have been able to prosecute. They haven't heard that so kidnapper has been sent to prison, so have been condemned. So
you're a media man. You're a media man.
Yes.
By the grace of God, I will say I'm a media man too.
Okay.
I was a practicing journalist before I became a police officer. I went to the Nigerian Institute of Journalism some 30-something years ago. Okay. I was a features editor of a newspaper.
Yeah.
You are aware that you have ethics. So the ethics of your job guides your actions. And the first headquarters say that we should not display, celebrate. Of course, you have the right, the freedom of information. Bill is there. If you want to know, you can write to the office. Say, CP, the social person wants to and then you can, when you're narrating, you can say the source. But I cannot come and announce to the public that between February this to so this is what we have done in terms of prosecution. However, the word on the street is that Anambra State, Nigeria Police, Anambra State Security, Anambra State Internal Security is obviously doing well. We saw it last Christmas. We are hoping again that as Easter comes, that whatever, not just the Christmas, look at the elections. One of the best elections conducted ever in this country. And I was in charge. It's not like they say, okay, CP, come out. Let them bring another CP. I was in charge. And, because Mr. Governor told me, and all other security operatives that please do the right thing. See, if I am failing, allow me to fail. If I'm passing, allow me to pass. Do not do anything that is unprofessional. Let the public have the capacity to think right, freely, and exercise their responsibility. And that was what exactly happened. So it wasn't like police was on the side of one man, or police, of course, obviously, if police was going to be on the side of one man, by the history, the Nigerian political history, an emergence of elections and election results, of course, you know where the police was supports.
All right. Let's know about the level of the relationship you have with the present administration. Is it cordial? Has it benefited?
Now I ain't gonna tell her whether it's cordial. I mean, a servant of you. I am in no position to give assessment
because
of how I relate.
Because months back he shared we saw a video where he
shared vehicle. You are being specific now.
Yeah, it's part of.
No. It's a social responsibility on the part of government.
Okay.
Even if a company, oil company, anywhere, you're operating an area, it's okay. When I get the vehicles, when I get like 30, make a help on with another 100. You know, it's a sign of positive relationship. But I think on the other way too, it's a social responsibility.
So those vehicles, those in-laws, they are being put in use. If you go to checkpoints now,
you're blind.
But because what I'm asked is, in the Anambra, they always complain that the police checkpoints are also placed. Your boys do all this. Give me this one, give me this one, give me this one.
Oh, it's like complaining that anytime you pass Abakaliki Street, girls they stand along the road.
You and this the Abakaliki Street.
If Abakaliki closes road, Abakaliki does not function. You know, Abakaliki is the stream of blood flow.
Yeah.
In Oka town. Until maybe we begin to create other places. If you want to see, no, that's the truth. Except you not be Anambra man. You not be Oka man. Abakaliki is the heart of almost all social activities, excepting specific government activities. Okay, you go to Dorakuyele or the International Conference Center But say you want to go out in life as a human being after all the stress. Say you want to go and carry fresh air.
We want to go and carry fresh air.
Now get fresh air now. Except you get another meaning for fresh air.
Well, we are being told in movies, in fact, when you go to police stations, they keep telling you that police is your friend. And since the fight against unknown gunmen started in the state, the notion of see something, say something was out there in the fore, and it was pushed to see something, say something to every Onyanambra. But then we still find that people are still being laid back in the act of saying something. And when you ask questions, a good percentage will tell you that I beg I don't get time for police people and their wahala. And I don't want anyone to know, oh, if I report, they'll not say it's me that reported and something. How do we keep on and hold still to see something, say something, and as well as protecting
Did you watch my
the
visits to
information?
secondary schools? Primary
So
schools?
where?
Primary schools and secondary schools.
Okay.
I think before you come for this interview, I've done do small research about what the police they do for the state now, so that you have something to appreciate.
No, it is a daily complaint from the Anambra. You know, when you go to social media, you see all these things they complain.
Yes, of course, of course. Thank God.
So it's also good that
Thank God.
you even speak.
Thank God for social
Media.
Now, the worst disease society can have. I have a PhD in sociology, by the grace of God. I go to school well, and I'm a lawyer.
Wow.
Yes.
Only you lawyer, only
journalist.
you journalist,
Yes.
only you police.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes. The worst disease, those of you who, if you know homeostasis, the balance of a system.
Yeah.
The worst disease any society can have is ignorance. The worst disease we have in this world is not HIV, it's not hepatitis B, it's not malaria, it's ignorance.
Why do you say so?
I'm only responding to what you're saying. And if you do not appreciate what was there, compare it to what is here now, learn from it, and see how you can strategize for tomorrow. I don't want to give anybody them. And you don't blame them either. Anambra State, in the Anambra, not Anambra State, in the Anambra had been lampooned in certain emotional conditions. Not from today. It's not something that you talk, okay, one police station is misbehaving, or one community is misbehaving there. No. Have we forgotten the days of Bakassi?
Bakassi boys.
We forget too soon. The other one again, IPB, the other one read by Masao. In the Anambra had been, or ritual killings. We are carrying out a recruitment exercise. And thank God for what the police is doing, what my PRO is doing. Today, in the Anambra are beginning to turn out to become police officers. If you look at the indices in the turnout. Last year, when we passed out at the police college, Oji River,
Yeah.
Anambra had the least figure, 66. Ebonyi, 206.
Oh.
Meanwhile, I don't want to let them out. Enugu, higher. Abia, Anambra, 66. And all the 66, just about 15 of them or so, male, maybe 10. The rest are female. I went to attend the graduation of at the Tansian University, Moya.
Yeah.
You know, when you look at the graduation list, female, 1 male, female, 1 male, female. It is not just in academics and security areas or unwillingness of in the Anambra boys to become a security officer. Even in this thing of this Otimpu thing, boy thing that happens in
Igba boy.
Igba boy.
Igba
Igba
boy.
boy.
Apprenticeship.
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 You go there, they will tell you, boys don't turn out anymore. You bring a boy will come for a program of 5 years. By the time it's 2 years, he has left. In the morning, you see him around the make-up for hustling. If you know nature very well. Or you will see him in one ritualist shrine. So we need to educate the people. In the Anambra needs some form of reorientation.
Value orientation.
Yes.
Because it's part of...
And thank God, Mr. Governor, from what I've seen, these 2 skills to 1. So
One you 2 skills.
Very good.
Social innovation districts.
All right. And making the people realize that rituality does not pay.
So that's where the Homeland Security Law comes in.
It's part of it. So it's not like what is happening today. If we talk about just what is happening today, we would forget where we are coming from. What India and Anambra has suffered from the hands of land grabbers, suffering of widows. There's a whole... I'm Commissioner of Police in Anambra. It's not, I will not come to a podcast and say everything I know. Our values need to change. Our values need to change. Now you say the police want to collect. Who gives?
The people.
The people. And when a policeman says no, the tag you go home with, that wicked bad policeman with a beg and sins, say we will give us something. You know, agree, don't take us to court. You know, so it's a complex
Situation.
environment that it's not like by tomorrow when I wake up, it's going to be over gradually.
So what has been your greatest fight since you came in terms of crime? Is it the kidnappers? Is it the sit at home? Is it the widow? Is it the agitators? Is it the Yahoo? Is it the Joshua? Is it your kid?
I cannot say this is my...
And when you came in, assuming when you came in, there's this thing, there's a board. You must have written the problems. There will be the one that will be, this one is on high, this one is on...
That is where you are now coming into people. When people interview me, when they come to office, even BBC, say your strategy, how did you... There is no strategy. There is no priority. There is no priority. When day breaks, I attack the challenges as they come. The day that was, I said, you might do this. I was just sleeping one day, I woke up. I said, I hear that Anambra schools are not open. Presuming people are not going to school. What do I do? PRO, find out the schools that are open. Let us now visit them. And we started visiting, and the news was everywhere. And before you know, the next week, other schools are opening, and today, schools are open. So there is no it's not like there will be no priority. If I hear now say there is a kidnap incident or one incident, so I will leave this place. I don't go there. So it's not like I have this now big crime, big challenge. No, every challenge is human based. You just hear some people now. Get headache, don't pay me. Say belly de pela and belly. That's belly is just a symptom. About 2 weeks ago, when I arrived here, another major challenge I had was fire incidents. Not that Onitsha axis. So I started going there. I didn't say, oh, ops go there. No. I started going there, talking to the people, educating them, and about I think last weekend, not this one that just passed, the other one. I woke up to hear that there was this fire incident in Onitsha. And I said, no, this is strange. Fire incidents that used to occur every other day in Onitsha. I started seeing it as strange because it wasn't a regular occurrence anymore. However, I got to that control because for every fire incident, I'll be there.
Yeah.
Look at the causes. And of course, if I'm there, I'll call the chief fire officer. When he hears that CP is there, I will call so person is there. I'll call SA security. I'll call this place. I'll call everybody. Don't shake. So now everyone is careful. Me and was it Emeka? Sometimes Emeka was it Emeka?
Ken.
Ken will be angry. Why is this person? I said, okay. Some days I'll be angry. You say, CP, just understand.
So both of you are complimenting each other.
And that is the progress. Today, you arrest people. Previously, you just hear stories. They have arrested, they have dungeons they have detention centers and all that. Now, you arrest people, robbery, and no matter what offense, you will call me. CP, I have 10 suspects. I have 2 suspects. I have 3 people. Come and take them.
So Agone Chamber and Nigerian police are working hand in hand.
Of course, it's an institute.
And no one is taking each other's job. Because that's the gossip out there. People will say
that Chamber is going beyond what they're supposed to do.
You see,
they're doing even the job of the police.
You see, even a child was born into this world as we are born in processes of growth, education.
Right. We're in the month of April and primary elections are here. Before you know it, we'll go into heated campaigns. And 2027 will be here in no distant time, which means we are into election season again. Yes, you said that the November 8th gubernatorial election of 2025.
I did not say it, except you have facts to say no, it was not safe. We were not secure. I didn't say it. It's there.
All right.
Everyone.
Let me conclude. You
Not
said
me talking.
you said that the November 8th
it's in the open.
Governorship election,
Irrefutable.
Which you headed as the CP in the state, is adjudged to be the best election so far. Now we are going into comparatively, we're going into another election cycle, another election period, primaries, campaigns, election for January 2020.
Food for the boys and the men.
True. But
and
then,
for the media too.
How? What are you putting in place to make sure that politicians don't use our young men or young girls as thugs? Because we found out that youths are the easiest to be used in all these practices. What is the role of the police at this point to make sure that they begin on time to sensitize, our youth to stay away from such vices?
Political education. Like I always said, the worst disease is ignorance. Effective political education, which I used, the command used, about 3 months to the elections. I went virtually to almost all the major villages in this state. All. And engaged Agone Chamber, the youth. I was telling them, if you want your candidate to win this election, do not involve in an electoral vice. Because one, I'm going to bring in drones, which I did. 2, we are going to massively deploy police people. Because Anambra is a special situation with all this IPOB and all that, you know. So it's not about using force, power. No, it's about changing the mindset of the people, which I successfully achieved. And I go there, I tell them, on election day, if I see anybody in red, that Agune Chamber now, that is there. If I see you in Agune Chamber uniform, I will hand you over to the federal force, not me. Because 1, you have established that you do not like your governor. Because if you like your governor, you go to the booth, bring out your voter's card, press. If you have time to stay, play around to protect your vote in whatever form, except in violence, you do that. But say you want to carry ballot box and run, you are discrediting the election. And I will not. So while I use force with my right hand, I also use my left hand to say, oh, but this thing, not do one like this. Oh, if you do one like this, you know, go good.
So character.
And you see all these boys, you see, the people we refer as thugs, and it's just pure ignorance. Nobody, who will enjoy, okay, let me go and having fun in carrying ballot paper or box to run with a security man chasing. No, nobody. But he thinks that if he does that, he will have favor in the eyes of his boss. And sometimes, after 4 years later, maybe once in a while, when the boss comes around, they go and gather in the that's what happens in my place. They will say, Honorable so person has come. They will go and
that is his place, maybe one beer parlor also.
Near the gate, as it's coming, you carry one naira throughout them. And 4 years later, they are back again. Or you come, the chief of the thugs, they'll give them maybe one motorcycle or one bus. It's pure ignorance. So, with deep political education, we are the media. That is the role of the media. Major part of the role of the media. You do that gradually. People are getting wiser. And we are having options. If you look at the political terrain now, the emergence of new political parties. However, there are still some people, if it is not ABGA, it is not ABGA. If it is not AD, it's not AD. If it is not the obedience, we have different political parties. No matter what, if it's not a particular political party, in fact, they cannot even breathe. We still have people like that.
So now, at this juncture, what's your assurance to people who will come up to vote that their vote is safe and they themselves are safe?
Like you have called it, it's a process. It's a process. And every process is dependent on factors of development, factors of underdevelopment. Well, in the Anambra, when it comes to elections, always know, think, and remember November the 8th, 2025. Always remember that with peace what you want can be achieved. Whoever you want, if you want Mr. A, be peaceful. Do the right thing. Do the proper thing. If you want Mr. B, but for you to say, oh, you need to fight, you need to carry gun. And those people, those of us, the majority of us, because people who are making trouble are just minority. The majority of us who need peace continue to preach peace. Continue to preach. Tell people the disadvantages of violence. Because these people are our brothers, our children, our friends, our relations. They do not live in elsewhere. It's not like they are imported from Kano. They are not imported from the Niger Delta. They're in the Anambra with valid in the Anambra citizenship and voters cards. Thank God, so far, so good. And we can only, and let us always remember that, yes, it's bad. It's bad. But then, advanced societies still have these small challenges. We know what happened for America. Elections. Where they visited the capitals. The capital, what they call the capital. So we cannot take away the human factor. However, let peace reign. We're a developing society. We cannot have it best just overnight you wake up, say, okay, everything is perfect. No.
Let peace reign, let peace reign. Okay, last December we had the best Christmas in Anambra State, and Governor Soludo, during his second term inauguration, reaffirmed the statement that Anambra is safe, if not the safest in the country today. So what is police under your care doing to make sure that we sustain this peace?
What are we doing?
Yes. Recently,
we are not doing anything. We just we perform our duties. They go.
We are just being on ground.
We are just being police officers.
How responsive are police in Anambra?
We continue to up our game. If last Christmas was the best, we are expecting best Pro Max. Anything that is above best, excellent Christmas. That is where the people will come in. Other aspects and factors in life. Greed. You don't have to be a millionaire, to get the best out of life. Be contented in what you have. Plant. Nurture your plant. Eventually you reap.
Okay, well, it's been an amazing time rubbing minds together with you, CP Ikeo Orutugu. Thank you so much for coming on the show and also giving us insight into the security architecture of Anambra State and where we are and the efforts of the Nigerian police alongside with the administration of Professor Chukuma Charles Soludo. Thank you so much for your time here.
Is still the answer, Charles?
Yes, no, Charlie Wambofo.
He told me that
it's Chukuma.
I have an English name. He used to know me on that without English name.
Okay.
But I said, okay, I'm making they call me that. I know what the English name. So he says, somehow to him too.
He wants
Chukuma.
He wants Chukuma. Yeah.
He wants to keep the child outside.
He wants Chukuma, of course. He's a proud Igbo son. Yeah. So, well, here we come to the end of today's podcast. Remember to like, share, comment, and also click on the notification bell so you'll be notified each time we have any content for you here on the channel. Remember to always drop your comments right there, ask your questions. We'll address them when we see them.
My name is Adichie Izuchukwu. Always listening to voices of the Anambra. Thank you, Mr. CP, for coming.
Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.